And Dave Atkinson's occasional op-eds are important. But a whole lot more media competition in the realm of political ideas would be better. With the web, the barriers, financial barriers to entry are lower than ever. You have got to get in. Third, simplify the complex. Maybe you thought you had done this by coming up with 5 short goals, but that's about 4 too many for many Kentuckians to follow. Some are too busy to pay attention. Others are just not that bright. So boil the message down even more than you have. Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels, the man who would make the best president this country could have come 2012, judges everything his administration does by whether it increases the disposable income of the average Hoosier. You need a motto, you need a guiding principle that is just that concise. Fourth, confront, criticize, and challenge the citizenry. Kentuckians are polite to a fault, and persons of your position and social rank are exceptionally so. But too many of our state's problems stem from just plain sorriness and stupidity. Pandering politicians are too timid to get in people's faces and say, stop littering, exercise, stop eating like a pig, quit smoking, turn off that trash on television, and things like that. Maybe you are too. But these things badly need saying, frequently and forcefully. You want to fund programs to fix the fallout from all these bad behaviors, but let's first try harder to fix them for free. Fifth, and finally, as you do all this, don't forget the finer things. The arts, music, poetry, theater, and knowledge for its own sake. You already do this, of course. Your companies and you individually support all of these things, and they wouldn't exist in Kentucky to the extent they do without your philanthropic assistance. But by expressly incorporating these things, for which Kentucky really has a great gift of genius, into your mission, you transcend mere commerce and materialism, and you open yourselves up to create valuable alliances with talented people who might otherwise see you as being merely mercenary. So, to the extent you can, make Ashley an ally, not an adversary. Try to win over Wendell. Don't go to war with him. There's power in celebrity, and by celebrity, I don't include Richie Farmer. Explain the complementary relationship between commerce and culture. Capitalize on it if you can, but by all means, don't surrender that battlefield. So there's a different perspective for you, and presented in a more concise fashion than my hosts expected. So with a few minutes, if anyone would like to react or ask a question, I'd be glad to entertain it. If not, I hope you will be able to enjoy your lunches.
Surely somebody's going to take John David task on this. Come on, you can't let him off like this. He always performs on television, and in writing, you've got him live and in person. John David, thanks for your remarks, but let me just ask you a question or two. If we, you kind of suggested that we look back at history and we learn a few things, whether from a French poet or from our forefathers here in the Commonwealth. You did mention that the current administration, and I'm not sure you got back to those remarks. Do you want to give us sort of a 2 to 3 year report card on how you think your friend Governor Beshear is doing?
Sure. The governor had one declared objective, expanded gambling, at which he has failed miserably. He had no other agenda for Kentucky, and he's fallen short of even that. I wrote a column some time back talking about when Ed Pritchard was on firing line with William F. Buckley Jr., which was one of the most incredible telecasts you could ever see, and I think it's available now through the miracles of YouTube, etc. But I remember when Pritchard used the French phrase raison d'etre, and to hear him say it with his accent was even more wonderful. But that's what I want to know about the Bashir administration. What is the raison d'etre? What's the reason for being? I don't know what it is this far in. Maybe it's to be a caretaker because we've needed some caretaking with the budget problems. But if you're talking about an agenda for the future and progress, going back to someone who was raised and thoroughly marinated in the mores and practices of the Kentucky politics of the 70s, before there was really legislative independence and a bona fide two-party system, he's not the man. Now, that said, he seems to be all the Democrats have, and to my utter astonishment, he's chosen Jerry Abramson as his running mate, who's completing what I would consider not just an undistinguished final term as mayor of Louisville, but almost a downright disgraceful term. There's been so much controversy, so much mismanagement. You can see it in Crit Llewellyn's audit. You can see it in the controversy about 4th Street Live and Cordish. You can see it in the animal services department. You can see it in the scandal in the housing department. And this is who we choose as running mate for their second term. So that's kind of what I was getting at on Bashir.
One more, just real quickly. You point to Mitch Daniels, as a lot of people have, and if you could just talk a little bit more about what he has done there. But also, the question is, has he had the cooperation of a legislative body that has helped him along the way?
Somewhat, although it's certainly been no cakewalk for him. In fact, the Indiana House Democrats are battling him even still over some of their education and school funding issues. But the great thing about Mitch Daniels is he is so intelligent, so experienced, so competent, so serious, and yet he has this great wit about him. If you have not watched the videos of Mitch Daniels' campaigns, he let video people accompany him all across Indiana as he rode his motorcycle, most uncharacteristically, all across Indiana. And he would have these encounters with ordinary Hoosiers that are just priceless, and they really give you a glimpse of the real man. Yeah, he's a brainiac, no one doubts that. He privatized their toll road to great effect. He's got that state's financial footing very firm. But in these encounters, you just see that this is a real human being. You read a lot about how Obama doesn't get real America. Daniels gets real America. He is of real America. He's of the heartland. He spent the nights in